Hi there. Thank you for watching our presentation on visual supports presented by the Therapeutic Recreation team. My name is Shayla, and I am a recreation therapist as well as a caregiver coach in our caregiver-mediated early years autism programs here at KidsAbility. Today, we are going to look at what visual supports are, why visuals are effective, the different types of visuals, and how to use them, and finally, how to get your own visuals from our team here at KidsAbility. Visuals can be drawings, objects, written words, or photographs that can communicate information. Anything that is visual, meaning anything that you can see or look at, can be used to support people who have difficulty understanding or using language to communicate. Holding up an item can be a visual support. Looking at a schedule is a visual support. Reading a recipe is a visual support. We use visual strategies to help individuals understand their world better. Visuals can help remind an individual of what is coming up next. It can help them accept change and transition a little easier. Visuals often help our learners become more independent, and it reduces anxiety. Visual strategies also help students to learn and follow routines, as well as assisting them to learn how to do something new. Visuals can provide greater consistency amongst caregivers, and it creates motivation for task completion. There are many types of visuals, and we are going to talk about a few. First, we're going to dive into the following 4 types. 1, choice boards. 2, visual schedules. 3, task analysis. And 4, a first then. Choice boards are a great visual to choose reinforcement, a preferred activity, or a choice between tasks. It's important that each choice board is individualized to the person using it. Keep in mind not to overwhelm the student with too many choices. Providing choice allows the individual to communicate their wants and needs with others. It provides the person a sense of control over a situation or task, which in turn increases that person's motivation to complete the task. It eliminates the response effort of verbally asking for what they want. It helps the person focus on the options, and it communicates to the individual what is available. A choice board can be placed on the fridge for someone to choose an available snack, food, or drink item. It can be placed on a cabinet where toys are located so that they can choose what they want to play with. These are often used to provide a choice of available shows or movies. A visual schedule shows a sequence of events or activities. They can provide an individual with a visual breakdown of their day or part of their day, such as the morning routine at home, an afternoon programming schedule, or a lunchtime expectation chart. This assists with transitions as it increases predictability. It shows the child and all caregivers the activities to expect and their order. Someone can look back at their schedule anytime they need to refer to what has already happened and what is coming next. A task analysis is a valuable tool because it provides clear and structured guidance for learning and mastering everyday tasks. It can be adapted to suit the individual's abilities and preferences, making it a highly effective teaching strategy. You can break any complex task into smaller steps to encourage success. Some examples include brushing teeth, getting dressed, the toileting routine, hand washing. You'll often see a hand washing routine in public washrooms, especially in schools. A first then board can be used when you need to increase motivation for someone to complete a task. First then language and visuals communicate an expectation for the child to complete a task before receiving access to a preferred item or activity. It helps to reinforce an undesired task, and overall it helps the student to visualize what the expectation is and what they can earn upon completing that expectation. A first then board can help ease transitions for individuals, resulting in a decrease in challenging behavior and providing predictability of what is expected. You can use many different visuals in your environment. This is especially helpful for individuals who respond better to visuals than spoken words. You want to use the following in place of a verbal instruction or in conjunction with a verbal instruction. Also, you can use them as reminders throughout your space. For example, you may want to place stop signs by the door handle to indicate that you aren't to leave the room. You might want to consider using other visuals in isolation. This will indicate maybe where a participant might find something, like the toilet, or labeling drawers so that all individuals know where things belong or where they can put things. You can use any visual to communicate rules and expectations. For example, think about the classic no smoking sign. Some things you might need to use could be no hitting, quiet voices, a reminder to bring your water. You'll see on the screen there's wait, not available, and available. This you can put directly on items or over a picture of an item. My turn, your turn for when you're playing games and taking turns. So how do we use these visuals? You want to keep your language simple and concise. Avoid talking about things, just use 1 to 2 word sentences. Point to where you want the child's attention and begin with a small array, especially if they aren't familiar with visuals, so 1 or 2 options. You want to start with little to no expectations of the child. You're showing them something, and this might be new to them. Model your expectations. Remember, you have to show something in order to teach something. It's a good idea to begin with items and activities that the child or individual already enjoys and routines that they already know. Allowing some control will make this more effective, so allowing the child or individual to choose what goes on their schedule, for example, and you'll want to use visuals all day and as much as possible. An important step in teaching language and increasing understanding is showing visuals while saying the words. We want to show the visual while saying what it means. So it's time for snack while showing the snack visual. You want the iPad while showing the iPad and the iPad visual. First shoes on, then outside. You can use this during a natural transition and when you have a first then board. If you don't readily have access to visual supports or you forgot them at home, there are some simple ways that you can create your own visuals on the fly. For example, you can draw a first then board on a napkin at a restaurant. It's a good idea to keep a dry erase and a blank board available and accessible. You can even Google pictures on your phone, like the classic stop sign, for example. You can always use physical objects. It's a good idea to use a lanyard or a key ring to take visuals out of the home or on the go. Some tips and tricks to using visuals. So as I mentioned before, using a ring or a keychain to keep the visuals together. It's a good idea to have multiples and backups. We know we're probably going to lose a couple here and there, so why not set ourselves up for success and have more than one? Generalize. So this just means using the visuals in all environments and with all caregivers. If you're a service provider, it's a good idea to consult with families and learn what works well in the home environment and then mirror that in your program. Likewise, if you're a family or a caregiver and you know something is working well at school or in a program, maybe introduce that into your home. It's also a good idea to have blanks, or as we mentioned before, a blank whiteboard. We know that motivation can change daily. That's normal, and we want to be prepared for that. KidsAbility offers a board maker workshop to individuals in our community. This workshop is 40 minutes and in person. During this workshop, a clinical assistant is going to teach you how to make your own visuals with a program that we use called BoardMaker. Alternatively, if you know the specific types of visuals that you would like, you can simply request them to be made and pick up at reception at any of our 4 sites. If you're doing this, you're going to want to be as detailed in your descriptions as possible. letting them know what size you need things to be, and the exact pictures that you would like to be included. To do this, you're going to email clinicalassistance@kidsability.ca. You can see more information on the screen. After taking this workshop, I would encourage you to check out our website. You can find many tools, including visuals and handouts, at our Thrive Together tools on our website. There will also be a one-page handout to accompany this workshop. Thank you for watching today. If you have any specific questions or if you need further assistance, please email us at rectherapy@kidsability.ca or youthengagement@kidsability.ca.